Merry meet and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 10th of October, 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and today's deck is this beautiful Keymaster Tarot, and I'm going to purify with our old favorite Florida water here. Big tall bottle. I put some in this little I decanted some into this little spray bottle. 3 sprays in this big room is more than sufficient. Let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. We're starting out with the Hierophant, followed by the, 7 of Cups, and then the 8 of Cups. Okay, kind of cuppy. I like it. This Pope card is what it's known as in the older decks, tends to represent a feeling that there are powers that be that are stronger than you, and that you have no power, and that you are powerless. And it's very important that you don't just swallow that belief system whole and don't question it. Because while it may seem to be that way on the surface, it isn't that way in reality. And that's why it's important for you to find your power and to look where you do have power in the moment. And recognize that what the ego is throwing at you as being something that is that you're powerless over, maybe a problem that seems unsolvable, maybe there's a governmental agency or something like that, or a company or a person or a group of people, something like that, where you are powerless. It wants to keep you there because it's a type of prison that we are kept in by our own egos. And it's up to us to question that. And when we question that, there's always another way. There's always an option that we didn't understand. And it's usually a very soft way. It's not necessarily, well, I'm going to really just get up in their face and put up a fight. Usually, if they are seemingly unsolvable problems, or if they are seemingly very powerful companies, etc., that's not going to work. But there is a power that is softer and more gentle and peaceful that is within us, that has a way of dissolving and melting those problems. And that's what you want to recognize, that is where you want to be. And that's what this 7 of Cups is all about, is turning around your inner world so that you perceive things differently. So you're no longer going to be perceiving yourself as powerless. You're going to be perceiving yourself as all power. And all power sits in peace. All power sits in that state of oneness with your soul. And that's one of the best understandings of what the cups represent, is that inner stillness, that inner connection. This 8 of Cups is talking about how you have an intuitive ability and faculty that knows what to do about everything. So rather than coming up with ideas about what to do or being reactive or things like that, you're being encouraged to sit still and to find a non-resistant, non-reactive posture within yourself. And when you have that and you find that peace within you, the actions that need to be taken or non-action that needs to be taken becomes very clear. And there's nothing that happens that you won't know what to do about in a very powerful way, because that intuition is never wrong. That intuition will never fail you. And that's living a magical life, is living intuitively. That is what magic really ultimately is, no matter what kind of system of magic you may practice, or even if you're not into magic. But it is the magical way, is living life intuitively, rather than by the power of our seemingly highly developed ego intellects. Okay, we've got this 4 of Swords, again saying the same thing. We've got a 9 of Swords, which we'll talk about. And then we've got a 9 of Clubs, which we'll talk about right now. So the 9 of Clubs is talking about how you have to take care of yourself. You can't just let yourself get run down, especially because what looks like why you're getting run down is because of worry. I understand Stuff is scary out there. It's a scary world, and there's scary things happening. I understand that. And it seems like there's nothing that we can do, and that we're doomed sometimes. And you have to recognize that what that is the ego's method of getting you run down and feeling powerless, getting you run down and getting into a self-destructive mindset, because that's what it's there for. It's there to self-destruct. It's there to destroy you. But the insanity of the ego is if it destroys you, it destroys itself. It's not how insane the ego is. But the soul is indestructible. And that's who you really are, is a soul. And when we get the soul in charge, rather than our ego mind in charge, all of the problems dissolve in very interesting and very, sometimes, like we said earlier, magical ways that cannot be explained sometimes. And what this Four of Swords is talking about is your only job is to disengage from the fear, disengage from the idea that you're powerless before whatever these situations are that you're so afraid of, that you're so worried about, and that you're letting run you down. Disengage from them. And when you disengage from those and you relax and you find that inner peace, that's when that turnaround happens. And that transformation, which is the Seven of Cups, occurs because it's natural. It's natural for water to flow downhill. It's natural for your soul to heal whatever needs to be healed. But it needs to be, you need to allow it, because you're in charge. You are in charge of what you do and what powers you allow to be in operation inside of you. And, you can't go east and west at the same time. You can't go up and down at the same time. And by the very same token, you can't let the ego's power be in charge and the soul's power be in charge at the same time. The one costs you the other. You can't be in two worlds at the same time. So the being in one world, this world of the soul, where everything works out and problems are dissolved, you can't have that world while you are engaging with your ego mind, where you're being upset and worried and all of that. Now, I know that sounds impossible sometimes, especially when we are confronted with very scary situations, but it's not. It's not. It's a decision that we have to make. And just think of it just very logically. How well has being worried, upset, and run down worked out for you? How much has that helped solve a problem? How much safer do you feel? How much happier do you feel? And how much has everything just kind of turned around and gotten better for you? Not very. Right? So you owe it to yourself to be logical about this and say, well, wait a minute. My carrying around these negative emotions and being reactive and scared all the time, it obviously isn't helping anything. Otherwise, all of this would have been cleared up already. So why don't I try another approach? It's not going to get worse. It's not going to get worse. Obviously, being afraid and being worried and being run down hasn't protected me, or I would be better. So maybe I could try something else. Maybe I could say no to the worry. Maybe I could say no to being run down. Maybe I could say no to being afraid. Maybe I could disengage from that entire thought system just for a day. I can go back to it tomorrow and try something else. Try allowing myself to find that inner peace, trying and allowing myself to be guided by that inner, small, still, peaceful voice. And, then at least if I do it, I'll have I can have an honest assessment of which way worked better. Because even if I'm wrong, that this won't, even if it doesn't completely heal your problems, which I think it will, even if it doesn't, you're feeling better. And isn't it better to at least feel better if you can't change anything? If it's going to be the same way either way, at least why not have a good feeling? Why waste all that time feeling horrible? right? So at the very least, if there's no causative ability here, you're going to feel better and you're going to have a better life, even in the midst of, all of the problems. But I tell you this right here and now, that you can't help but see those problems dissolve and things get better and things turn around for you if you are committed to having that non-resistant, peaceful, disengaged experience where you really disengage from it. Turn off the news. Stop listening to mean people. It's okay to cut mean people out of your life. If they're just constantly nagging at you, you don't have to listen to that. You can disengage from them. Sometimes we can't completely cut them out of our life because of whatever circumstances we are in, but we can stop listening to them. We can turn them off, right? You don't need to be fed all of this anymore. You need it. It's this Four of Swords is very clear. It's all about you disengaging, and that your peace is of primary importance. This is a card of peace, and this is a card of peace. Right? This is a card of worry, and this is a card of defeat and being run down. And so this is an absolute and complete choice that must be made. And don't give all the power to these people outside of you that you think are so powerful and that they're going to destroy your life or ruin things for you or whatever that happens to be. Be here now. Right here and now, none of that's happening. Right here and now, what's happening is you have a choice as to which voice to listen to. Do I listen to the voice for peace, or do I continue down this road where I'm worried, upset, getting run down, and destroying my own nervous system? I have to do it for myself. Just tell yourself. And like I said, even if you are going to go to hell in the handbasket anyway, at least go enjoying yourself. Right? But I guarantee you that if you commit to that inner peace, there is no hell in a handbasket. Things get turned around. Things get dissolved that don't serve you. Things work out for you and work out for everybody around you. So this is a wonderful message today to disengage from that ego mind and to make peace your first and only priority today, and everything is going to work out. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. We'll see everybody tomorrow for another daily reading. Until then, blessed be.